I have more than 40,000 pesos here, guys, and the most epic toy you can imagine, one of the most valuable ones on the market. If you want to know why all these boxes are worth more than 40,000 pesos, stay until the end of this video, because today you're going to join me to discover the most epic collectible that exists, at least for me. Check out this package. It has issues 1 through 17. Let's open it carefully so we don't damage it. If you look closely, you've probably already figured out what it is. I hope it's not too complicated to assemble. It comes really well sealed precisely so it doesn't get damaged. There's small booklets. This is the first time I'm opening these packages, so later on we'll do it faster. But I wanted to share the whole process with you, right? From the moment it arrives. And how long is it going to take us to put it together? I know it's not easy to put together, but I hope to assemble it in record time, because this takes days. Guys, it's not a quick process. Alright, let's take them out carefully. From what I know, collecting all the magazines has taken me over a year. Look, check this out. This is the main one in me. Obviously, it comes in the magazines and everything you need to assemble it. Issue number 14, 299 pesos, and it only comes with one gear. Let's take them all out. These are the crazy parts. It's called the one that goes up here, number 10, number 13, number 11. See? 16. Issue 17, 299 pesos. Look at the size of the arms. This goes on the arms. Look at the size of the gears. Let's go with number 12. No way, they're amazing. They're really heavy. Check out number 9. These are the shoulder pads, metal structure. These are the circuits. This is where the cables connect. I hope it just needs assembly. If we need to solder, we have a soldering iron right there. This is number 8. Look, just look, it's all metal, and that's why it's so expensive, folks. There are issues that only come with just metal parts. And did you have to be a big fan of Messenger to be able to buy them? Because, well, if this costs a lot, multiply 299 by 100 issues, and I think the last ones are even more expensive. Just imagine what that is. 3 es... Hubo gente que solo compró la cabecita. Uy, está bien abierto. Sí, está bien abierto. El 3 viene repetido. ¿Saben que el 3 fue del 5, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 23, 24, 25. Hachete. ¿No? 29. Es parte del 3, ahorita vamos a ver. 30. Este debe de ser 32. Y este debe de ser el 2. 33, 35, 36, 37, 38, 40, 42, 43, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 57, 58, 59. Vamos a ver qué tan bien nos queda. Yo escuché que la parte complicada es la parte de los 60. This one is for the cables because it has light and sound, so you have to put them in correctly and assemble them in the right place. There are a lot of people who put it together and it didn't work. The secret to this is making sure it works properly for you, in the end, the way it should. Just look at its size, just look at the head. 62, 63, 63, 64, 65, 66, 68. Lo principal para hacer custom o para armar algo es que veas bien. Funciona al 100. Si no funciona al 100, habremos fallado. Si es que vamos a comenzar a... 80. Que viene, obviamente trae su revista. Número 1. Creo que este tendría que ser el mejor, vean nada más. Y viene cómo armarlo, que es lo importante. Trae luces LED. 80, 85, 86, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 9, 100. Pareciera fácil, pero no es fácil. Yes, let's leave this part like this for now. We'll see how it turns out as we put it together at the end, but this one in Engarada. It would be cool if they also released this one after they release Almacen, and then Garada. This K7 has a bit of history. Shall we start assembling this one? This is number 1. And I guess, I don't know why there are two. I suppose they come together, I don't know. It's just that here there's another magazine. This one does say one, but the other one doesn't say anything. Well, let's see what's in here, right? Right. Let's take it out. Look, more assembly steps, weapons, lights. It's amazing. Look at the base. Look at this. Wow, this poster is incredible. This is the actual size. I mean, this is how big the robot is, so you can get an idea of how we can show it to you so you can see it. This is my table. So we're going to put a Hot Wheels here to give you a better sense of scale. I'll start with this one. See the size? Look at the size of it. I mean, it's huge. It's enormous. No way. I even love the poster. This poster is really cool, like something you'd want to frame and put up. Man, this is beautiful. Just beautiful. Let's put it like this. Let's close it. To think that the first issue, guys, cost 50 pesos, which is the head, one of the most important parts. It's important not to lose any pieces, because if this gets lost, we can't get it back. It's not something you can buy, it's not something you can go ask for somewhere, so let's put it together. I even think the Collectible had distribution problems, and that's why it took so long. Let's take out the pieces, always following the manual. Let's do it like this. 001, come on. Let's remove this. This opens like this, carefully. They're awesome. This is plastic, but this is metal. Alright, let's get started. Let's grab the connectors. Look guys, I'm going to give you a tip for assembling these pieces. You have to be very observant, because if you look here it says 011, and if you go over here you might get them confused. They look very similar. You go to the back here, and here it tells you, it marks it for you almost exactly. How is it? That's the 0110. Here you have to be very observant, and you notice that there are two little LEDs, and this one only has a diode and a LED. Obviously, you do need a little bit of knowledge in electronics, but very basic. Not here, it says. I mean, ideally here they would tell you which one is which, and that would make it easier. But well, not many companies do that, so you just have to be a little observant. The 0110, as I told you, only comes with two LEDs, and this one only comes with one. So that's where you can't get confused, because if you assemble it wrong, the lights that go in the eyes probably won't look right, they won't light up enough. Or they might look weird, because there will only be one LED, or it might not work, because if you connect it like that, if you connect it wrong, maybe they won't turn on for safety reasons, right? Let's assemble it now. I just wanted to show you that. It actually took me a while to make this small piece, but it's really important that you put these labels here, because these labels are going to tell us later where to connect things, so you have to be very careful not to miss this step. This first step is very important, so that at the end of the day you can put it together like this and it won't fail you. Sometimes the diagrams can be a bit tricky, because if you look closely or if you observe carefully, this one is kind of flipped. Does it really go like that? It needs to go through there and end up on top. Let's add the other one and I'll show you. There's a trick to it. I hope I can learn it quickly, but it just took me 15 minutes for this small part. After a while, gentlemen, I realized it's not that hard. Here are the two wires. You just have to understand it a bit, and this is going to be Mazinger's eyes. It's going to light up really well with 3 LEDs. No way, it's going to look incredible. Here it is, and we'll likely build another one like it. With that, the eye lighting part should be perfect. Don't forget to put the label on the back, because a lot of people forget, and this will be crucial to connect them. Then, well, look guys, the eyes are done. This is how they look. This little stick it has is so the light can travel from the back, the central LED, all the way to the front. It's awesome. There it is. This is, let's say, the look of Mazinger. There the wires are, perfectly tied and secured. I soldered them a bit. It took me a while because I soldered the wires a little so they won't come loose. They were already well soldered, but I prefer to reinforce them so they hold up and don't fail. Because later, with movement, and even though this doesn't move much, it's probably going to be on display, but it's better if it's strong, right? My hand is shaking. I had it in a bad position. Well, gentlemen, we're done. Issue 1 is basically Mazinger's little mask, which is made of metal, the eyes, this piece that goes here, and these 2 plastic parts that go like this. They show this in issue 2. Let's say it's the whole head. I hope it's the complete head of Mazinger. Here it has its speaker. What you see here is a speaker, which is obviously going to be useful for us. Or I want to think it must be a sound, some kind of alarm. Well, Mazinger didn't talk as far as I remember, but it must be something. So let's assemble this part, and with that we'll have the head. Here it even shows us that it's the head, which is great because in the first issue you can have the complete head. In fact, there are a lot of people who only kept this little head, without Koji Kabuto's little head. Look, gentlemen, something important so you don't damage the robot's parts, Mazinger's parts, is to pay attention to which type of screws they are. As you can see, screws. Here are these and here are others. Not all screws are the same. Some are metric and some are standard. So it's very important that you put the screws where they belong. I have to assemble these two pieces. This is metal, it's really awesome, it's really heavy. So you go to page 1 and it will tell you which screws go in this part. If you don't do it properly, you could damage one of Mazinger's parts. Even if you glue it back, it's not right. It must fit perfectly and come out perfect. Look guys, I ran into a problem here. Like I said, when things are mass-produced, they have small issues. This part here has a kind of burr, you can see it there. It doesn't close, it doesn't let the back part close, meaning it doesn't fit. Look how it sticks out. This shouldn't happen no matter how much I try to fix it. No, it doesn't close, so here it is. Later I'll have to use a Dremel. I'll have to cut a little piece off, or at least shave off a bit so it can fit properly. You can't see it since it's inside the robot, but there are some imperfections visible there. Look, there's something there that doesn't let both parts close, and check it out, it's just a little bit, look, it's just a little bit that's missing, and you can see it doesn't drop into place. I mean, it's raised. So I have to shave it down a little bit so it can move a few millimeters and drop into place. But these are things that a regular user wouldn't be able to do. Guys, this is how it went. I'm going to show you. This piece, well, both of them, as I mentioned a little while ago, since they're assembled by machines, they didn't close. No matter how much they tried, they wouldn't close. They were longer, they had little, like, I don't know, scraps here, I don't know. It was strange, right? I used the Dremel with my file. I started to grind it down. I shaved off what was necessary and then it fit. That's not normal. It shouldn't be like that. So as not to damage the piece, obviously I covered what needed to be covered, and in the end I smoothed out all the rough parts with a finer sandpaper. And as you can see, it doesn't look bad, it doesn't affect anything, you can't even tell. But these are the kinds of things that sometimes happen when you make, or rather when you assemble this type of collectible. Because it's not made right there, it's mass-produced, and sometimes the pieces might not fit together that well. It's strange, well, I don't know if it's strange, I guess it's normal to a certain extent. But, well, it's done now. It didn't fit, it was a little raised, and the gap here is minimal. So it was a little raised, it couldn't fit, that's why we had to trim it. I mean, it goes over there. That has a vaporizer, meaning you put water in it, it heats up and creates a hurricane effect. This one is amazing, it's amazing. Seriously, let's continue with the vaporizer. It's already set at the nape. Remember I told you this was a speaker? It's not a speaker, it's a heater, and it's really important that you put this on the right way. Because if you put it on backwards, it'll short out, or yeah, it'll short out because it would be touching the water. This part holds water, this is going to heat up, and this has an insulator that keeps the water from getting into the circuits. So this is basic and you have to pay attention to it. What else? Well, if it says attention, it's because it really matters, right? So keep this in mind whenever you assemble anything that involves water. This has to be perfectly insulated, that's why it has this plastic, and you have to fit it in perfectly so the water doesn't leak out. It's really cool, really cool. Here, I'm going to put a small piece of tape, just for extra security, a bit of tape up here. It doesn't normally have it, but I'm going to add it myself, just as an extra measure to protect the circuit. And if at some point this gets old, well, it will serve as some protection, right? Here, I would have put it. In fact, you know what? I'm going to put some silicone. I'm going to seal this with silicone. Just this part, this little piece. So that nothing happens later and so it lasts for many years. Now I understand why several people have told me they built it and the eyes don't work for them. They don't fix the eyes anymore. Here's what we've done so far, but to repair the eyes, I need to take everything apart to reach them. There's no other way, they're at the bottom. To replace those LEDs, we'd have to disassemble everything we've assembled. And surely more things will go in here, so as this gets filled up, it's going to get more complicated. If we did something wrong, that's why it's better to do things right. Gentlemen, booklet 3, gentlemen, that's how it goes. This is what we have left over. Let's go with booklet 3. Something I don't really like is having leftover pieces. Because if suddenly I'm going to do this in stages, and I'll try to do it as often as possible, as continuously as possible, but if you leave this here, it can get lost, 1,000 things can happen, so we're going to leave it here. I just brought a box. We're going to wrap all of this. If I'm going to stop, I'll wrap it, store it, and put it in its place so that nothing gets lost. We're doing great, because we have the 3 screws left over that were supposed to be left over, so let's move on to number 3. Let's see, now we can assemble the full face of Mazinger. Here comes a battery. I think it's a battery, but I'm not sure. We can test the head now to check assembly instead of waiting until the end. Hey, I want to show you something. I'm assembling the head part, and fortunately, they sent me 2 copies of issue 3. And there's something, look at this one isn't the good one. Look here, it's kind of scratched. I mean, in the end, you can paint this and it's fine. But a collectible like this shouldn't come like that. And it doesn't really fit together well, so I'm going to put on the one from the other issue so it looks better. That's how it should be. I mean, there's small details, but if you've already invested so much in something, it should look good. Look, you can see it there. This can be painted, it's no problem, it can be painted. But since I have it, I'm going to put on the one that's better. I'll see if it fits better, because the other one kept falling off. I don't know why. It's done, guys. Mazinger's face is ready. Well, this is what we have so far. Something I didn't like, guys, is that I had to open 2 issues to be able to assemble it. For some reason, it didn't fit well. It kept falling off. Now it's fine, but if they had used some neodymium magnets here, it would have been better. As I understand, and from my research, this faceplate is meant to be taken off and put back on. You already saw it had a defect. Here, this part of this sheet was dirty. It was kind of scratched, but this one isn't. Although it's something that can be fixed with paint, the adjustments I had to make were directly here on the bases, so it could fit well and look good. Yes, it's something complicated, it's not something simple, and here these are manufacturing errors, design errors. With 2 or 3 small neodymium magnets here, it might have turned out better. For some reason this mask has to be removed. I guess we'll see why later on, but still, maybe with screws or something that could assemble it better. It doesn't come off because it really doesn't come off. But I had to use 2 issues to be able to do it right, and that's not cool. It's more investment and waste. Alright, let's finish issue 3 here. It took me a while, honestly, because I had to adjust the mask so it would look good and not bump into all the parts. And tightening screws, something I haven't told you, is that the screws should just be snug. Don't tighten them too much. That's what I learned in school, because otherwise things can break more easily when it comes to plastics. But anyway, that's what we've got so far. Let's move on to the next issue and finish this one, because I have to put on the spikes, the ones that go on the sides, and the battery holder. Look, gentlemen, same here. I mean, here, this just goes in like this with nothing else. With some good neodymium magnets, it would have been perfect. And there is space. I don't know if they'll come later. I hope they do, because they fit perfectly there and the mask fits better. If not, it'll be tough since this doesn't fit. It fits, but not how I'd like. And this one just sits there, just floating here. It's not a toy, but for your collection. It's really loose. See, it only fits like this. That's all it does. I mean, in the end, it fits, it stays, but if I move it, it's gonna fall off. Look, that's the problem. Come on, it's already expensive, with some neodymium magnets that cost 50 pesos at most for the pair. Could have been better. I'll check for magnets and put them on myself. Look guys, honestly, I really like this a lot. I mean, I put in some batteries that are a bit low. But what you see here, it has a lot of light. Right now I have a ton of light so that it can be recorded well and so I can see clearly. Recommendation: use proper lighting at work and wear glasses to ensure clear vision. This is a test circuit we've already connected. Now we'll test it to ensure everything works. We'll test the right eye by bringing it closer and turning it on. Look, it's lighting up. Not sure if you can see it. I'll remove the mask. And I'm going to turn on the eye. You see, it lights up there. Obviously, like I said, the battery's almost dead and there's a lot of light. That's why you can't see it well either. With a new battery and different environment, it should look better elsewhere. Besides, this is just a test circuit, so it's not getting the full current, it's getting a little less, but there it is, it's working. Let's test it, let's go, let's test it, let's make sure everything is working at 100%. That means we did it right, and I think we're nearly done with the head.